Hail Satan. Ladies and gentlemen, we got C.J. Dean returning to Satanic Induction for another interview. We're going to continue where we left off about the 2 Alternator Generator. What's up, CJ?
My name's Tesla, and I'm the star of the show. Bullshit.
It's good to see you, too. So, want to explain to the audience about this generator you made?
Everything is explained in the videos, Tesla. Everything. What don't you understand?
Mostly the part where you put DC into a stator of a 3-phase generator.
Well, first of all, it's not a stator. A stator belongs on a motorcycle. That's the only stator I know of.
Do you think a motorcycle's the only thing with a stator? I mean, anything that charges a battery's got an alternator, and every alternator's got a stator. If you're going to drive an alternator with a motor, well, that's a 1 alternator generator, isn't it?
You're not making no sense to me. There's 2. There's an electric motor of some type, and then the alternator.
In our last interview, we discussed turning an alternator into a motor, and you said you just put DC into it, like there's only 2 wires, but there's several
Well, that's
wires.
what you did wrong. You only cut one wire on both alternators, and that's the diode out of only one of them.
Well, just so we're clear on this, CJ, there are 6 diodes in a 3-phase rectifier, and there are 3 or 6 wires coming out of the stator of a car's alternator. And then there's 2 more wires that power the field winding. What do you do with all of those?
Count the alternators down. You cut the diode out of 1 alternator only. Positive, positive, negative.
Positive, positive, negative, negative. So how many wires are there in an alternator?
1 wire. You already know this, Tesla. And that's to the diode, makes it a motor. You need the diode alone and the alternator. Take the positive, hook to the positive side of the motor that you just created.
You ever seen the videos of people turning an alternator into a motor to power like a bike or a go-kart? You know, they have a 3-phase motor controller that has to have Hall effect sensors and everything, man. Like, how come yours...
No. Well, I don't know what all you're doing there. You mount 2 alternators down. Cut only 1. When you cut the diode out, okay, the wire to it, it becomes a motor. It becomes a motor of the same electrical source, 12 volt, running 12 volt.
CJ, it seriously sounds like you've never taken apart an alternator, man. Like, you sound like you don't actually know what it looks like inside there.
Stop taking them apart, first of all, and just cut the back out of the alternator. Maybe save yourself some work. The motor feeds the alternator feeds the motor. Evidently Tesla can't get it. It's called the 2 Alternator Generator. Look it up on YouTube.
That's right. Type in 2 Alternator Generator into YouTube and just see what you find. I bet it's going to be CJ's video. So the parts of an alternator are the rotor, the part in the middle that spins, and then you have the stator, the part on the outside that doesn't spin. In order to induce any current in the stator, you have to put power into the rotor through the brushes. My big question to you, CJ, is how do you put power into that rotor? How do you magnetize the rotor in your alternator?
That makes no sense to me at all, Tesla. Here it's an armature. The only thing I know a stator goes to is a motorcycle. That's it. That's not an alternator.
I'm afraid you might be mistaken there, CJ. You see, the stator on your motorcycle is just a part of the alternator. You know, your lawnmower has an alternator as well. Anything that charges a battery does it with an alternator these days. You didn't know that.
You're fucking stupid, Tesla. No, seriously, man. Fuck your bike. You ain't built jack fucking shit, and you're fucking full of crap.
Well, you don't have to get your panties in a wad, CJ. I mean, I'm just trying to point out an inconsistency in your instructions here so that my listeners can properly recreate your invention.
2 alternator generator. I got a bunch of alternators. If you build that, you can hook an inverter to it and make it go 110, 120.
So have you got anything else to add, CJ, about the generator thing, man? You got anything else to tell the listeners?
The military should come get somebody. You should draft people again, and then all of them can die. I'm being drafted. All them people died beyond their will.
Well, I'm not sure what that has to do with a 2 alternator generator, CJ.
That kind of information right there in the United States get people murdered, Tesla. That's why them boys is hidden. Boys spent over a fucking month out in the middle of fucking nowhere hiding just to make that video.
Well, just based on what they taught you about it, CJ, I'm inclined to believe those boys spent a month out in the woods because they couldn't find their way out of the woods.
Once again, Tesla, in the first video that's ever been put out on it, them boys have been camping there for over a month. It's the first ever 2 alternator generator video that was put out.
Hey, I'm just being nosy, CJ. Do you happen to know the title of this interview?
I do know the name of it.
That we're currently
Want to help
right?
put it out there. Want to build the motherfucker. It's called 2 alternator generator. That's it. I was told I would die because it would create some sort of, I don't know, energy force that would have consumed me. And that's called the Philadelphia experiment, Tesla.
So the super secret dark energy field that will kill you, made by the 2 alternator generator, is called the Philadelphia?
No, the energy field is not called the Philadelphia experiment. It's called the Philadelphia experiment, and what was created by it's what it
Always thought the Philadelphia experiment was an attempt at cloaking that accidentally led to teleportation.
No, it wasn't.
And some other
That's
stuff.
not why they created the Philadelphia experiment in attempts to some portal. That was the cause of their stupidity. Should have did it in a smaller room.
A smaller room? You know that the Philadelphia experiment was conducted outdoors, don't you?
Anyhow, that's what I was supposed to have created and was told not to do it long time ago.
Well, I guess it's a good thing you never got it built. Especially since an alternator generator designed the way you described would just catch fire. That's pretty much all that a 3-phase generator does when you put DC into it. Is it just gets hot, smokes, catches on fire.
No, it doesn't, because you're cutting the diode. And you're not using radio frequency, electrical waves in the air.
Well, I don't remember mentioning RF. I only mentioned alternating current because that's what an alternator
Whatever, Tesla.
makes.
Just do your own fucking research.
That's why they call it an alternator.
You got a comprehension problem, Tesla. Probably take that name
I think
down.
this is the part of the
Tesla.
interview
There's always
where
people who
CJ
worship
gets on a
Satan.
little bit of a tangent.
No, I'm
You
going
remember
to
in the
hell,
last interview
Tesla.
he started
I have
singing to me.
I'm gonna kick his fucking
Let's
ass
not
when
have
I
any
get there,
singing this
too.
time. But
I'm gonna kill your God.
what do you want
I'm
about?
not going to heaven, Tesla. I plan.
I know the
on
channel's
it.
called
The
Satanic
day I was
Induction, but this
fucking
isn't really
born
a-
to go to hell.
This
I'm gonna
isn't a
sit there
religious
alone,
topic,
Tesla,
man. This
'cause
is
I'm
a
kicking you the fuck out.
technological interview.
You're not worthy. I'll sit there alone. I'm gonna sit there by myself, Tesla. Whole world to myself and my own hate.
Well, ignorance is bliss. But just so we're clear here, you don't hook a battery to this thing. This apparatus is 2 alternators connected with a belt, and there's no battery. And you claim that you just spin this thing by hand, and it just works.
What are you hooking an alternator up to a battery for? Who said anything about that, Tesla? No, you're fucking ignorant, and bliss is not me.
I'm inclined to agree with you there. Bliss is not you. No, drunkenness is you.
You're so fucking stupid, Tesla. It's fucking, you're ignorant. Ignorance is bliss.
Man, CJ, I really wish you'd make a video where you demonstrate this apparatus. That'd be great.
Change shit. You're a fucking retard. You don't know a goddamn thing about a motor.
You don't actually have to know much about a motor to know that putting DC 12 volts into an alternator backwards isn't going to make it spin.
You don't just carry that kind of information in the United States without being threatened. That's free energy.
Well, you heard it here, folks. CJ Dean single-handedly invented free energy on a 1-month methed out binge in the woods. And now he's sharing it with the world. Aren't we lucky?
Straight out. I'm the apex predator.
Now we all like a good burger, ketchup and onions with the cheesy bits in there and shoved into a steaming hot vat. But you need the beef, you see, and the Mad Burgers at Crazy CJ's have the best beef by far. They do.
Calorific, juicy, and delicious. CJD.
Crazy CJ's home of the Mad Burger. You'd be insane to miss it.
You're a fucking fag.